is just what I want to explain is the form interconnect variables. The form interconnect variables is the data that is passed through the data structure to a form. So every single form has a data structure. The data structure may or may not be like have members or columns associated with them. When I pass data from this form to this form, it's the form that you're calling that needs to have the data structure. So if I want to pass, for example, if I want to pass my username to this form here, okay, this form needs to accept the username as part of its data structure. So by default, like I said before, the form's data structure will be the primary key of the primary table in the business view. So because this fix inspect has only one table, it's gonna that table by default will be the primary table, and that table the data structure will equal the primary key for that um, table. So right off the bat, I'm able to pass short item number and unit of measure to the form. And because it's the primary key, these are like special. JDE knows it's the primary key by reading the business view and is able to work with those options. Fetch, update, okay? But I'm not limited to only passing that information. I could pass whatever I want. But if I want to pass something from this form to this form is the one that has to have the data structure. So let's say I want to pass my username. I'm going to pop up a username. Or I'm going to display the username in this field in here. So let's say I want to I'm going to take user. I'm going to add it. Now, I'm not taking the user that exists in the database. I'm taking the currently logged in user. This user that exists in the database is a user that updated the record. Okay. This user here is just a field that's not linked to the business view. The data dictionary. I'm adding a data dictionary, user ID. Okay. It's populated with nothing. There's no code for this. So there's no BC being grabbed because it's not linked to a business view. There's no automatic population by JDE of the FC because again, it's not linked to the business view. So if I want to populate that, I got to populate it through code myself. So I'm going to call this one user ID test just so you can see it in the code. Okay. So now if I go here and I preview this, and I go into here, user ID, there's nothing in it because it's not fetching from anything, right? Let's say I want to put something in there. Okay, well, I can hard code that in my application here. Here, I'm going to go into the event rules. I'm going to say immediately when the dialog is initialized means that the form loads for the first time. I'm going to do it in the post dialog is initialized. Okay. And I'm going to assign. What do I assign? I want to display something on screen. Which type would I use? FC, exactly. So I'm going to say on screen, I want to display this, whatever. That's it. That is in an FC that's not linked to a BC, so there's no saving going on. There's nothing going on. This is purely just a visual thing I'm showing. Save that. Run that. And now when I go there, it's hard coded to that weird thing that I just did, right? It's going to show up there, right? Now I'm giving the illusion that when I click OK, that thing's going to save. It's not going to save anywhere. It's not linked to a business column or a business view column. So if I want to pass information from here to here and display, so let's say I take a user ID and I put it here. Whatever you put here is going to display here when I call the form. That's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to have to do is pass the information. I'm going to have to pass this piece of data from this form to this form so that this form can then display it here. That's where you're going to see form interconnects. Okay, so form interconnect is just data structure. So in the data structure, I'm going to add, sorry, let me go back here and show you that when I assign here, I have currently two form interconnects, short item number and unit measure. When I go here and add a data structure, I'm going to add a user. And again, do I want to add it from my business view column? Okay, or do I want to add it from the data dictionary? The difference being same as this difference. If I add something directly linked to a business view, it's managed automatically by JDE, meaning it'll automatically fetch data from me and automatically save that data for me. So here it's the same idea. If it's added from a business view column, it's automatically fetched. If it's added from a data dictionary, it's not going to be automatically fetched. Here in the data structure, if you want JDE to know about your primary key, it's got to absolutely be from the business view column. So basically, what's available to me here is business view column. I'm going to actually get into that another time because it's going to get too much for now. What I'll do is I'm going to go to the data dictionary and I'm just going to add user. Okay. I add it to over here. Now I have user ID and I can call it whatever I want here. Whatever I want. I can name it whatever I want. Okay. I'm going to keep it simple. And the difference you see BC and DI. Data dictionary item, business view column. Okay. So now when I save this, I have access to another variable called form interconnect user ID. What this means, okay, the value that this has is the value that's passed to me. So if the calling application doesn't pass any data, it's going to be blank. If the calling application passes data, whatever data they pass, that's what I'm going to have there. So what I could do then is instead of hard coding and the post dialog is initialized, I'm going to say set the value of the form control equal to the value of the form interconnect, which means set this equal to the data that's passed to me. Okay, step one. Okay, step two now is I'm going to say this needs to, the data that's in here needs to be passed to this form. So when I go into I did it in the select button, I'm calling this application. Now you see I have user ID here. So I can say here, take the data. Where's the data? It's in my form control. Take the data from my form control and pass it to this application, this form. Okay? So that's what a form interconnect is. A form interconnect is that every form has a data structure, and applications that call on that form can pass data to that form, and then that form can then use that data to do something, display, go grab data otherwhere. You do something meaningful with the data that you're being passed. So now the way that I just designed this, like small test application is that whatever data I put in here, when I click select, it's going to call this application and it's going to place that data in here. Okay, so just,
who's getting the data in here?
I'm gonna put it.
Oh,
I'm gonna manually put it.
okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put whatever in here. Okay, and this is in all caps. All caps. So in the data dictionary, you remember when there's that checkbox, all caps?
Yes, yes.
That's what it does. I'm typing in lowercase. When I tab out, it's all caps. It's gonna convert it to all caps. So now I'm gonna select this, and it's when I select it, it's gonna pass that, that, and that in there. Okay, and now I'm assigning it there. Okay, so that the piece of information that I'm passing is a grid column and this. Okay, a grid column. Okay, and so that's the form interconnect. I'm gonna pause that or stop that.